Okay, where were we?
I don't know.
Ugh. I mean, I guess the clowns kind of operate like gangs when it comes to like clowns first term, because we did have like conversations about that.
Hmm. So the question is, like, what's the concern? Like, you clearly wanted to talk, but you haven't really said what you want to talk about, other than the fact that you're afraid it's going to go the same as Hydro, which I've
Well,
given you my thoughts on.
my main talk was because I thought you were upset about the clowns kidnapping Mark. That was the main reason why I wanted to talk to you.
No, I'm pragmatic. That's just business, and she stuck her nose in wherever. You know, I only phoned around. Oh, I didn't even phone around. I just asked Rye, who then asked Twinkles. Because the text that was sent to me did not read like a text from Mercury at all. And when I asked her, because like I immediately picked up on the fact that she doesn't text like that, and it was way too friendly because me and her have this like, I don't know, hatred going on.
Yeah.
And I asked her,
I
I was
hear a
like,
letter.
I asked her a coded question that only she knew, and she couldn't answer it. Yeah, I hate a ladder too. What's up?
Don't pause.
No, we have to pause.
Is
You're
it
not
really?
privy to this conversation, man.
You
I'm
didn't,
sorry.
She didn't say that.
What?
Okay, you guys have a private conversation.
Deep convo, man. Deep
Just
convo.
having a
Plus, you're still
private
not
conversation.
trusted. You know,
I can go
you should
somewhere else.
go get yourself inducted in the clowns, and then you can have this conversation.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm already a clown.
Join the clowns. Oh,
I'm already a fucking clown.
you already got the personality for it. Just put a red nose on.
I'm saying. I'm not putting a little red nose on.
What?
And people
Why
are gonna
not?
honk. People are gonna honk my nose.
You don't like getting honked?
No, I don't. Fuck off. But just had to run that idea by you.
That's fine. I'll help you out if you commit a felony. He's so stupid. All right, where are we at? Part 5.
Yeah, well, people told me that you were upset about the Merc thing, and I was like, well, are we sure? Because, like, I feel like that doesn't sound like Chem.
Yeah, no, I didn't care. I only cared because, like, I wasn't going to text someone who's not who I'm talking to, you know? I was trying to organize jobs because she does jobs with me late at night. But, like, beef is beef at the end of the day. It's business. Transactional.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and then clearly it's been blown out of proportion from Rye to Twinkles and then to the rest of the clowns.
Yeah, it was also more so like because you asked Ryan and Twinkles confirmed it, and then they saw you at Tessa's house. So it was like more so that the clowns thought you were gonna do something against it.
No, I wouldn't do something for Mercury Frost. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
What? She's cool, but she means nothing to me.
Who does mean something to you?
Well, technically not many people in my life. Like, I'm loyal to Ray, but I owe Ray a life debt, so, you know. Ray's not a nice person. I don't know if you figured that out yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Should I be worried?
Well, if you're his partner, he's okay. If you're okay being ignored sometime. But, yeah, see, in general, he has a tendency to underappreciate those around him. I'm loyal to him because he was loyal to me in a time where he didn't have to be, and it's kind of a built-up life debt. But if I was objectively no strings attached and didn't have like that kind of background, there'd be really no reason to follow Raymond Romanov with sometimes how he treats people. So no, I would say there's no one really that I would consider.
Hi,
like
Matt.
a Kiwi would be the closest, actually. Kiwi is day one.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Kiwi's probably the one person that I would never shoot under any circumstance.
I could list like so many people. Sorry, I'm
See, the
texting.
problem is when you have that many people that you would do inordinate things for, they become your weakness. And in a life like this, as a clown, it might not matter, but in a life like this, that just means that you have weakness and leverage that people can abuse against you. And the people who you care about don't volunteer for that life. They have no agency in the decision to be taken hostage and used as a bargaining tool. So why would you put them in that position? And even if I did care about people, unless they volunteered for the same life I did, I wouldn't tell anyone I cared about them. Especially not in this life.
They think so different, but then also same at the same time. Yeah, he's very cold. The way I see it is some might like, I mean, people like JR, they called me like naive and stupid, right? Because
I don't think you're stupid. I should probably clarify, but I do think you're naive about like the expectations some have for this life. And I feel like that's just the influence that the clowns have, because they get a very different look at the criminal underworld. They have a very different operating kind of procedure in the criminal underworld than the average gang.
that is the gang POV.
Like, okay, I give you an example, right? Like the Vargos apparently have just lost a couple people. Now the clowns are a family, right? Like you guys are, you basically ride or die, like call it ride or die for each other, but you consider each other family. But all the other gangs call themselves that too. But the Vargos went through one conflict that didn't go their way and like they struggled with. And like I was talking to you about yesterday, the city and keeping a group together like that under a collective like group of individuals, even if they all carry the same flag and claim to make the same oaths are only as good as the last good day. So, you know, they all swear to the flag, but they had one conflict that didn't go that well, that, you know, individuals thought they maybe could have handled better. You know, ego gets in the way, or they just not happy with like the decisions made, and suddenly you've got people leaving left, right, and center with something that's barely just started. It doesn't take a lot for the average gang in the city to lose its standing and therefore lose people's faith in it. Like, and it's a common take from certain like groups that don't have that kind of like business aspect to their gang, where it's a collective money making effort and it's more personable and more of a family orientated agenda. I'm talking like the Cubans, the clowns, some of the racing crews, etc. The harsh reality of it is, Hazel, that most gangs are together by convenience, not by loyalty. And when that convenience breaks apart, so does the gang. So
Yeah, that makes
when you antagonize a gang and you threaten that kind of stability, even if it's only for jokes, right? Like you've got to understand that for the leaders of those gangs that are trying to hold together a ship that's held together with duct tape and dreams, basically, that you're rocking a ship that's already on unsteady waters, and people are going to defend that. You know, whether that's Flippy, whether that's, you know, gang number 3 that Chatterbox wants to antagonize, you know, for clown yuck.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
For me, it's like, I always try to see the good in people. I always try to trust people unless they give me a reason to not, I guess. And like, I try to see, I don't want to see or assume people have bad intentions until they show me their bad intentions, which makes me get fucked over a lot more than, you know, probably you or anyone else. I don't want to see the world as in black and white only. I see it in many colors. Which, I mean, I'm very loyal to those that earned my loyalty. But it's also very hurtful sometimes at certain days. Because
I mean, put it that no one in this life sees everything as black and white. Like there's people who see it as more hardline, but you see people of all different like personalities and colors, and that's how you treat the kind of the world. But you've got to remember that decision making for these groups is a collective effort, and it's usually by its nature done from a top-down aspect, and it's done in the interest of stability. Like you could have 20
I
different
mean, that's
personalities. Like, okay,
the
I'll use the
clowns have to
clowns as an
too.
example. Like if Ember, let's just say Ember gets taken hostage, or you know, like slighted in some way. Let's not say taken hostage, just slighted in some way in which she gets her car part stripped and she feels a certain type of way about it, and she wants the clowns involved because she is a clown, and Chatterbox says no. Then Chatterbox is prioritizing the overall kind of structure and health of the clowns over the wants and desires of an individual, despite how valid they might be. Like Ember would be within her rights to go out on her own and seek justice for herself, but that doesn't mean that Chatterbox is doing the right thing by the clowns. And you apply that same logic to regular gangs, and you see why, you know, the stuff that you guys get up to can result in consequences that you didn't foresee. Because you apply that same logic to any gang in the same situation where it's an individual member. All it takes is for the leader of the gang to agree with the individual that you've slighted as a clown, and suddenly you guys have consequences that you didn't anticipate, and friendships are ruined. Or it can be the inverse. The person you slighted might not care, but the leader sees it as a threat to their kind of like stability and image, so they have to make a big deal out of it. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not always black or white, and there's group dynamics that go on that mean that you can't control the outcome every single time. And that's fine for you to want to be a clown. You know, I have a personal thing against clowns, most of them, at least most of the old generation, except Scruffy, but in particular Chatterbox. But objectively, that's just because, like, that's my personal history with them. But there's nothing wrong with the clowns as a group. They're, you know, a good criminal group. They achieve their goals. They stay out of, they keep their noses clean. They stay out of a lot of stuff. But at the same time, got to understand that that logic doesn't apply to everyone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can be a clown, and you can do clown things, but you've just got to come to accept, drop the kind of, it's not an attitude, that's the wrong word, but like drop the perception that every group should operate on the same way that the clowns do, and look at it like, I can do this and this is the clown way, but I accept that I'm risking my friendships by doing this. And that's the mature take, I think. That the clown life is inherently, when you're running jobs that can put people in prison and put people in the hospital, and like, even if it is just clown things, you've got to accept that you're putting people's lives at jeopardy, whether that's time in prison or time in the hospital, and you're forfeiting your right to judge whether a friendship can continue past, you know, those clown activities.
That makes sense.
That's all I'm saying. But does that mean that you should hide and never make friends with anyone, or like open up relationships with anyone except other clowns because you're afraid of losing them? No, because that's horribly regressive, and it means that you only ostracize the clowns more from the rest of the city, to the point that more people will be more inclined to take aggressive stances against you guys because they don't know you. Like, what's worse, someone fucking with you and potentially sending one of your boys to prison for a couple weeks to a month? I mean this in Los Santos time, by the way. For something from someone that they know it can be talked to, or someone completely out of the blue, you know, that they don't know, that they've never spoken to and have no relationship with, coming and fucking them over and then laughing about it. Like, which do you think is going to have a more extreme reaction? So do I think you should push people away because you're afraid of losing them? Absolutely not.
Sometimes I guess, get confused if people like me for the way I am, or if they just like the thought of what I am.
And what would be the thought of what you are?
This side of me.
A clown side that you described?
The serious side. The one where I like...
Okay, but in my experience, 90% of the time I've spoken to you, Hazel, you've only presented the clown side of things. And if you claim the clown side of things is your real identity, then I would argue that the people that fuck with you because you are the way you are, and that's not making
I
you.
agree with you on Captain.
That doesn't mean you are a clown and your identity is clown. It just means that your natural state of being is why people want to be around you. It's not this. I've never seen serious Hazel up until this conversation, if I'm being honest.
Wait,
like,
really?
Most of the time it's hard. Yeah. I mean, outside of these like brief conversations we've had, most of the time you're fairly lackadaisical, which is why when you phoned and your voice changed, I immediately knew this conversation was going to be like more serious.
I think I overthink a lot of things. And then make my life worse with it because I overthink them, and then I want an answer. I don't know how to get the answer, and then I'm chasing something I can't have. And then I complicate things when I don't have to, instead of just trusting the process.
You need to trust the process, Hazel. Friendships and life as we progress is a collection of individual experiences, not a planned picture that's formatted. So now you're smoking and feeding a nicotine addiction.
Is it bad?
Yeah, I mean, if you want your collection of life experiences to end at 32 from lung cancer.
Oh, I've been smoking.
Yep. Well, you know, we haven't known each other long enough for you to be graduated into good friend territory. You're like,
if I would have had a gun when you shot that motherfucker, I would have started blasting. I'll let you know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I can pay someone to shoot for me as well, you know?
Okay, but I don't need your money. I would have shot.
Yeah, but everyone in my gang would do that as well out of obligation.
Okay, but I'm not in your gang and I'm not obligated to.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's 100 reasons someone could pull and shoot in my defense. I could owe you money.
My reason
Or
would be...
or you could also secretly think that I'm the key to, you know, Raymond still approving of your relationship, and then you shoot them to prove to me that I should vouch for you to Raymond, and it's all just just a big web of manipulation where Hazel really wants Raymond to like her more and more.
That is insane. Yes, that's why I'm hanging out with you when you have no legs, and your whole gang is asking me to babysit. Who's that? Because of that exact reason.
Yes. I'm glad we could get to the bottom of this.
You are insane for that. Ain't no thing worth filled.
King of the clown, so haze in my blood. Every plan I make, leave the block in a flood. Slip out of cuffs like they ain't even locked. PD, catch me once, then I'm already dropped.